hombre que se encuentra aquí, Erick Salgado, con ustedes.
First of all, I want to thank all the members of the press for giving us the opportunity to express our anger and express to all the citizens of New York City what we are going through. It is very important for this democratic process for every candidate to be able to express themselves and share their own vision of this city. And 50 years ago, a young pastor in Washington, D.C. shouted loud, this very same day, 50 years ago, that he had a dream. It is sad and shameful that 50 years after this powerful speech, another group of people have to come together. Maybe not the African American community, but another ethnic, another group who belong to this city who are suffering from the Jim Crow law era. Although President Lincoln was the one who fought to abolish slavery, it was Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, the one who fought to end the discrimination that his people were suffering under the Jim Crow law. That dream came to a reality to many Americans. And today we are proud to say that we have the first African American president, our President Barack Obama. However, today, 50 years later, there is another group of people who still have a dream that has been silenced and mute by many powerful people in this city. Today we have another reverend, another doctor in theology, trying to guide a group that in many ways are victims of discrimination and humiliation in this city. As Latino, my father came to this city in 1926 and he experienced all the difficulty that the Puerto Rican community and all the Latino community went through in this city. My father's dream started when I was born in 1970 in these precious cities in the Bronx County. He teaches me to be proud of who I am and be proud of what I represent. For more than 25 years, I have served this city, helping the most vulnerable one, people with problem of use and abuse of drugs and alcohol, broken families, and for the last 15 years, with those who our society calls aliens or undocumented immigrants. I have mentioned many times, my friends, and I will repeat it again this morning. Slavery is not abolished. Slavery has been transferred to a sector of our race, of our Latino community, who came to America with a dream that started to become a nightmare for most of them. Latino who our society labeled as undocumented, aliens, mojado, or many undesired nicknames. I understand, my friend, that this doesn't bring vote. Many people told me, don't talk about them because that's not gonna bring you vote. But let me tell you, we have 987,000 Latino registered in this city. Latino who can vote and will vote on September 10, and we will bring justice for this other sector of our Latino community. We will bring justice by electing a Latino mayor who's going to care for all the inhabitants of this precious city, and that Latino mayor, my friend, is Erick Salgado. Yeah. But how difficult it is for a reverend like me to be able to come from the private sector and challenge this career politician. The idea of our founding father was for everyone, any citizen, any New Yorker, to be able to come from the private sector and serve in our government. And then after our service was completed, to retire and return to the private sector. However, the system that we have in our city make it difficult to any citizen to actually serve in our government. The Quinnipiac University has continuously and repeatedly discriminating us by excluding us from their pool of questionnaire. Out of the 7 Democratic candidates, they decide to exclude only me from this poll. Even though the Siena and the Marist poll put us 100% in top of South Albany and almost tied with the city controller, Jean-Luc. We present a complaint in court, and the argument that they presented, I refer to the Quinnipiac University, to the court was that they only include in this poll people who held and elect or were elected to an office before. Clearly, this is not only a lie, because they had John Castamatini with a 37% in the Republican poll, but he was never elected to an office before either. Maybe the difference between John Cash, which I don't have nothing against him, is that he has $7 billion more than Erick Salgado. But this is not the dream that Martin Luther King Jr. was talking about 50 years ago. This is a nightmare. This is a disgrace. Then ABC and Univision exclude me from their forum because I did not raise enough money to participate from the city matching fund program. However, the controller of our city, he didn't participate from the matching fund either, and he was still in this, including this forum. Clearly, they discriminate me for financial reason, even though I was the candidate who was able to raise the most money among the Latino community, 20% in top of my closer opponent. But they still discriminate us. In the last televised forum, the discrimination was so vivid that I got many phone calls, email, tweet, Facebook from all New Yorkers expressing their anger. Not only the Latino community, all the community, all the New Yorkers expressing their anger for the shamefully way that David Shem from the Daily News treated me in this forum. That is why I was not surprised that the very next day the Daily News endorsed one of my opponents. Even yesterday, the discrimination is so clear. When I won the stickball game organized by Curtis Sliva, and yet David Shan from the Daily News referred to me as a long shot. But this time, my friend, he was correct. It was a very long shot, 180 feet. I was the champion of this contest, and they had to include me in all the major paper of this city. But yet, who comes in the picture? Not the champion, Erick Salgado, but other candidates that some of them not even couldn't find the ball or hit it with a stickball bat. But let me tell you, it is clear, the discrimination in this country. They discriminate me for financial reason. They discriminate me from political reason. They discriminate me for my ideologically, because I'm the only social conservative in this race, Democrat, Republican, or Independent for the first time in history. It is a Latino, the one who stands up for family value. But that swing, my friend, is just the beginning of what we are going to observe on September 10, when all the decent New Yorkers are going to elect a mayor based not only in his ability to talk, but in his ability to work and serve all his people. In September 10, my friend, we are going to fulfill the Latino dream to have the first Latino mayor of this city, a mayor who's going to serve all New Yorkers and bring progress, prosperity to our city. My friend, on September 10, elect Erick Salgado as your new mayor, as your friend in City Hall. God bless you all. God bless you all.